Hello, we are Kawala, and we're here today talking to IndieBuddie.com.
It took a very long time to convince this man to come and write some music with me.
That's not true. That's an unfair way of putting it.
We're from the same area in London, and we've known each other since maybe we were like 14, from going to the same parties and stuff.
And like just same area, different schools, but kind of like we were always like kind of almost other sides of the same friendship group. And then what was it? We kind of realised when we got to about 19 or so, we realised that we were both kind of like we were both doing music separately, but like in a kind of like I was very much just in my bedroom with my guitar. He was very much kind of like you were doing like quite a lot of musical theatre stuff, and then you were getting into writing your own songs. And I think we realised that we were applying to the same kind of music unis and stuff, and similar courses. So we thought we might as well have a little jam.
We had about 5 years of the same interaction.
Yeah,
every time we were at a party together, we'd be like, "Hey man, we should do some music sometime." Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's absolutely
and then never do it.
Never.
Until one day, he did actually come around to mine, and he came with a song, and it just kind of clicked. And from there,
we kind of were just throwing like artists at each other that we liked, and at the time we were listening to a lot of acoustic music, so we were just kind of chucking ideas at each other, the things that we were listening to and enjoying, and it just came quite naturally that we realised we were like throwing off similar videos, similar songs. So yeah.
I forced him to sing.
Yeah,
he was never a singer.
No. I used to sing when I was a bit younger, but then I just like the older I got, I was like, no, I never felt comfortable and confident singing. But like I found myself when I was just like I was playing acoustic and coming up with these quite like melodic parts, and I found myself wanting to kind of sing melody ideas I had, and obviously his voice is insane. I was just like,
we both had a love of harmony-based music. We loved things like the Staves or Fleet Foxes or like Crosby, Stills and Nash, things like that. So when we started writing together, I naturally wanted to put harmonies on things.
And I naturally didn't want to sing, but he kind of forced me. But what I think you claim this now, that he kind of taught me how to sing in many ways, because I was spending so much time with him kind of creating together. I just found myself kind of like essentially mimicking vocal styles of what he was doing. And so I think that's probably, if I was a vocalist by trade, or I believed in myself as a vocalist at the time, I think probably our harmonies wouldn't be as good as they are.
Yeah.
I mean, the vocals wouldn't connect together as well, because I'd basically copy him, so that's why
we kind of developed as singers together. So which is why now maybe it gels so well together.
Definitely not brothers. He's very tall and blonde, and I'm very short and dark-haired, and I think it's pretty clear that we're not brothers. But yeah, I honestly, if I'm honest, I've got no idea. It's just kind of, I think luck is hugely involved. I think like finding each other and just kind of like playing together and realising that like, again, because like if you listen to, I guarantee if you listen to some of the kind of like little demo-y things we put together when we first started off, you'd be like, yep, those harmonies, you wouldn't be asking that question. It'd be more like, so when are you going to give up singing together? Do you know what I mean? It's more the kind of vibe it was at the time. But it's just taken like a few years for me to build confidence up, and I have realised that singing is so much about confidence.
Yeah.
You can have, I mean, maybe you're gifted with a great tone, maybe, but I think anyone can train their voice to sing better.
Yeah.
And mine just came from practice.
And we've kind of learned also along the way what each other are capable of.
Like ranges and
where our placements sit. So naturally, when we're writing something together, we'll know whether to put a harmony like above it or below it, or sometimes we do octave or
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I just think like harmonies are such a beautiful like instrument in themselves, like vocal harmonies. Why? It baffles me that it's not used more.
Well, it
as
is.
A kind of like,
every culture and every religion has some sort of kind of form of group singing, and it's because it's so powerful.
But like, as in like in kind of like popular music, I'm surprised it's not more like kind of.
Yeah, stop giving away the secrets.
Okay, don't. I think they're overrated and don't use it. As a wise man once said, "We're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me."
It generally begins with Dan has like just an unlimited source of these just amazing guitar ideas and parts and tunings and stuff. So he'll come to a session with this just most interesting guitar part, and then we kind of develop a melody out of that. It's funny because our music generally sits around what Dan does on the guitar, because he is such busy parts. He's playing the melody, the bass line, even the the rhythms and stuff. So the drums follow the same rhythms, the bass follow the same kind of.
What he's trying to say is I'm a huge egomaniac, and it's all about me. No, I'm joking. But what it is like, I think our music, what we've always said in terms of how our music, especially since we've expanded the sound to, putting a band around it, around what we created and stuff, I think what it was I think a Kawala song only exists as a Kawala song if it stems in the same way that it always has. If you don't rely on textures and different kind of instrumentation and stuff, and the song can exist still in its kind of like two-piece format. For the duration of the song, it just can exist as that, and that's like what often I'll do is kind of like I try and play with tunings a lot and like kind of mess with tunings, which is terrible for live because I break strings all the time. But like I'll just mess with the tuning, find something a bit weird, get there, and then as soon as it's so weird because like as soon as you change tunings on guitar, you're not restricted to the same formats that you learn when you're a child, or when you're younger, or when you first start learning guitar.
Suddenly you can hear new things.
Yeah, and it's not groundbreaking stuff, but it's just like, it's for me in terms of like not just like learning other people's songs, but actually creating songs and like trying to use them in kind of popular music. You realise that there's just so much you can do as soon as you like start messing around, open tunings, weird tunings. So it stems from that, and then we'll kind of just like make noises over the top, like melodic noises.
And then we'll kind of build melody from that, and then harmony it comes really naturally. And then lyrics are a difficult one. Sometimes it might come from like a poem I've written or something that Dan's written, or sometimes they're the last thing that we put on the track completely. And we won't have lyrics, we've just been making noises.
So we'll be recording them, and we'll be still like going, oh man, what is that line? And it's like kind of getting them over the line. But on the whole, I think the songs that we are most proud of and definitely have the best impact on people are the ones where we like really like have a strong kind of like strong theme and message. And, yeah, I'd say so, because I think what adding the band has done is it's allowed us to get out of the kind of like, I wouldn't call it, I think rut might be harsh, but like I think like we got into a bit of a, I don't know,
we played in a lot of churches when we were just a two-piece,
and like a lot of acoustic shows, like in little like tiny little or like cafes, and
and like, so developing into like a bigger setup, which we have now, meant that we could play in larger rooms, and we want to get people moving at our shows. We want to, it just expands the sound,
and it gives us the opportunity to like, I mean, it's difficult to, because we started doing acoustic headline shows, and we were like, there's only so far you can go with a cajon and like an acoustic and two vocals, or like adding a bit of bass in. It just felt a bit limiting, and I think as much as we loved it and that's the origin of our music, and that we can always go back to that whenever we need to. I think that it's allowed us to kind of play big venues. Like we've done such incredible shows this summer, like festival slots, like and all these
and we
crazy
got
supports.
Incredibly lucky with the band that we have got around us, because they're all insanely good musicians. And as soon as they came and joined in, it just clicked like that, and it just made so much sense and felt right. So once we had brought drums in, we knew that there was no going back. Once we brought in the bass, we knew that
something else that was needed, and it was just like.
And then the same with Dan on electric.
But I think the good thing is it doesn't take away from what it is already. It's just enhanced it in the right ways.
And now we're lucky enough to have both this big setup, and we make quite a big sound, the five of us, but we can also always go back and just do shows, just me and Dan, and have that very acoustic kind of intimate moments as well, and intimate shows like that, which is it's a really nice balance.
Almost certainly. Yeah, I mean, no, I think we're probably in need of as much vitamin D as we can, so maybe we just do it to kind of give ourselves a push. But in honesty, the kind of like summary thing, I don't think we ever consciously did. I think our songs are quite naturally positive. You know, kind of, even if the lyrics aren't, they have quite often have quite a kind of hopeful feel. We realise that quite the lyrics do have quite a hopeful. And I guess that's giving it that, we get that reference quite a lot, the summery kind of feel, the kind of, also the kind of high life and slightly kind of like, kind of African-y rhythm thing. That came from just like acoustic rhythms like that.
It came from just what we wanted to make. We make music that we love. If other people love it too, then that's obviously a huge bonus.
Yeah,
but we didn't ever set out with a plan to do a certain kind of something. We didn't, you know, set out to write happy songs. It just so happens that we love writing them, and other people love listening to them.
It's funny because we write miserable blokes as well. That's the funny thing. Like, God, don't hang out with us. We're miserable. Maybe we put it all into our songs. We're just drained after. I do. I think you often try to calm me down about it. I think what it is, I think about, like,
it's not difficult. It's stressful.
Yeah.
Every time we sit down to write a song, we'll write a song, but it can take a long time, it's draining. Anybody who's a creative person that works in a creative industry will know that, like, it's like if you wake up in the morning and you're not feeling creative, but you have to be creative, that can be so draining. I mean, luckily we love doing it, but yeah.
And also there are much worse positions to be in than kind of like, you know, being sat in awesome venues in cities that you have no affiliation with until your music seems to reach people. I think what it is that when it comes to like writing, it is the one demand that artists have to achieve. You know, without songs, there's no label, there's no money, there's no fan base, there's no anything. There's no, like, honestly, nothing exists. No, like the band can't continue if there's no songs. You can't keep releasing music videos. You can't keep releasing singles. That's the one thing that you constantly need. I think sometimes I think artists, and well, me anyway, I think sometimes you probably kind of get that moment of being like, we need to deliver music. Oh my God, what? And that's the worst way to be creative.
But as much as Play It Right is about the difficulty of writing a song, it's also a reminder to ourselves to not think so much about it, because the worst thing you can do when you're struggling is to overthink it. And the message of Play It Right isn't so much as, oh, you have to play it right, don't play it wrong. It's more like, just keep playing it.
It's huge. I think because it's difficult because just generally talking about mental health, I feel like in some ways can be quite cliched in that it's kind of like, oh, just what with mental health in a kind of musician-y kind of way, when actually it's like a really serious topic to talk about. I think we didn't want to do it in a kind of naff way. We just wanted to do it in a kind of straight up way, but we also wanted to make it hopeful. It sounds weird, but like, it's quite a sad song. But I think we really wanted to, it's that kind of whole thing about, you know, something as easy as getting out of bed when you're having a bad day. It doesn't necessarily mean like you have severe mental health issues. It's just general.
It's something that anybody can
relate to. Yeah.
Everybody can relate to, because it's happened to all of us. I guess it's not so much mental health. It's just the kind of the sadness and everyday difficulty of sadness.
But it's funny because people take different things from it. So our bassist Reeve, we've been playing it with him for ages, and he was like, I thought it was about a hangover. So it's like, you know, I think that's the beauty of putting a song out, because like even people that you hear it every night when we play it and plays along to it, he takes his own meaning from it. People take their own meaning from our songs. And I love that, because like, we don't necessarily set out and go, we want this to be about this really explicit topic. We have a thing in mind that we want to write about.
It's more of a feeling than than a story.
But then it's also still quite hopeful, even though it's quite sad.
Yeah, it's a sad song, but it comes from a place of, rather than being like, I give up, it's more, don't give up, in a way.
That's a good question.
Well, because we have the two sides of our music, songs like Do It Like You Do and Run Away, which are upbeat and dancey, compared to songs like Heavy in the Morning and Mighty River. I don't think I could get away with just giving one. I'd have to give two.
No, I know what you mean. Because also, like, I mean, the song it's not the question you asked, but the song I'm probably most proud of, one of the songs I'm most proud of is Moonlight.
Yeah.
But like, I guess it's kind of a happy balance between the two things.
Yeah, you're right.
But like,
Moonlight, you're right.
I'll go Moonlight, but at the same time, I know what you mean, because it doesn't necessarily depict exactly what we do, per se. It's more like, it's like a happy medium between the two. But if someone listened to Moonlight for the first time, I don't think if they came to our gig and that was the only song they knew, I think they'd be surprised by what we actually play.
Also,
so I guess I'd actually personally I'd go Run Away on the basis that there are like chilled moments, really like melancholic moments, and then on the whole it's really happy and feel good.
We've never wanted to be a band and have a particular sound that someone would hear a song and be like, oh, that's a Kawala song. You know, we don't want to be defined.
Well, like different ways. I think we do want that in the aspect of like, oh, there are those harmonies, there's Jim's vocal, there's that acoustic sound.
But we don't want a kind of mundane, boring consistency that's always the same. We want a kind of range of...
I think there's a lot of music that's like that these days, in terms of like, and that's not throwing shade on anyone, it's just like, I think just generally it just feels like things are fit into categories really easily. I'm not saying we don't, but like, I like that, you know, the way you described us today, like, summary, quite Simon and Garfunkel. Do you know what I mean? Like, those things are like awesome because like it's much better.
When I think of Simon and Garfunkel, I think of their most depressing songs. Yeah. But then summary is also another way that you've described us. So
nope. Like honestly, no. It was like we've been very lucky in that we've had some really awesome support shows in Ireland, and like, in honestly, like I love coming here and playing shows. It is so.
Can't be an
every
crowd.
show we've done, it's just been insane. Like played Vicar Street like 2 nights in a row. First night was on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
It was like you can't really like you're doing it. I feel like we've experienced it right so far. And then like we've the most insane support at like Malahide Castle in front of like how many 35,000 people, something stupid. So like it's weird. But then our last show here was like 100 people, not even that.
Yeah.
So like you never really know what to expect. But I never expected the reaction. We put the smallest room here on sale, and it sold out in like 8 hours. And we're like, what? Like, you just don't expect it. You don't expect it in your own city.
Yeah.
And then, Sorry?
1 hour. Sold in 1 hour.
1 hour?
We sold out in an hour.
There you go. It's an exclusive. No, we sold out in an hour, and then, well, I didn't know that. Yeah, we sold out in an hour, and then put the next room on sale, and, wait, the next room sold out in an hour?
Yeah. That's what first
Be true to yourself. Don't make music that you think other people like. Write music that you like. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's a really difficult one because I don't think there's any right way to do it.
Yeah.
I think there's a million ways you can try and do it. I think there's obviously you get lucky opportunities. You know, I think about our earliest, because people ask that quite a lot. Artists ask us quite a lot. And it's funny because I wouldn't say we're in a position of like success to really like pitch, because you know it's weird because we're at a stage where it still could go wrong at any point. You know what I mean? We're enjoying every moment because we don't know how long it's going to last. And that sounds crazy, but then like, but it's that kind of making something you enjoy making. It's like, you know, but then if that is really really squeaky clean pop or that's punk or whatever that is, do that, commit to it, and
if you love it, I'm sure someone else out there loves it too.
Exactly, and also it is an element of luck because you know I think about our earliest breaks.
Get
our
lucky.
Earliest,
That's
our luckiest break was that we went to uni in Leeds for a year. A friend of ours in Leeds happened to like a group of boys in our halls of residence were from Leicester. They were good friends at school with a guy called Leo Stannard. Leo Stannard
was someone that we listened to.
Is an artist who was on Mahogany Sessions that we knew, and he was managed by the owner of Mahogany Sessions.
Yeah.
So they passed the message on, made a little video for us. Not about it, like we did a little session for them. They passed it on
Mahogany
to the mate.
saw it,
Passed
they liked it.
Saw it to Mahogany.
Yeah.
They emailed, like Mahogany emailed us.
We missed their email.
3 months later, we replied.
We made an email address. We didn't think anyone would actually want to speak to us.
Yeah, we made an official email and didn't check it for 4 months. Realised that they emailed us like 3 months before, and that was like our dream to get on Mahogany. So like it is lucky breaks, but also as long as you're making something that you care about, hopefully it will, you know, and you just be a bit of a nightmare.
That is terrible advice. Just get lucky. That's terrible, but
that's what we did.
That's what we did.
We are working towards an EP coming out.
Yeah.
In the next month or so, just kind of staggered songs coming out.
Yeah.
Which
we're really proud of as well.
Oh yeah, it was really fun to record. And then a bit of downtime writing, and then back on the road early next year. So.
Yeah. We're going to be back in Ireland in March next year.
Is it March?
I hope it's March.
It's March. I think it's March.
Early next year, as soon as we can, really.
So please come.